The year is for 76 CE in our world. It marked the end of the Western Roman Empire. Odoacer, a Germanic general, deposed the boy emperor Romulus Augustulus, sending the imperial regalia to Constantinople. The Roman West fragmented into kingdoms, giving birth to medieval Europe. But in this alternate timeline, that moment never comes. Rome survives. The Western Empire endures, its eagle banners flying not for 5 centuries, but for 1,000 years. Imagine the scene differently. Rome, instead of weak and divided, stabilizes. Reforms by earlier emperors succeed. Tax systems are streamlined, corruption reduced, armies reorganized. The Goths and Vandals are not conquerors, but federated allies given land in exchange for loyalty. Roman generals hold the frontiers, and emperors keep authority. Rome does not fall, it transforms. The Western Empire marches forward into history, surviving until 1476 CE. For ordinary Romans, life changes slowly but profoundly. A farmer in Gaul still pays taxes and grain, but he pays them to Roman officials, not Frankish lords. His children learn Latin, not Germanic dialects. Roman law, not feudal custom, governs disputes. Roads are maintained, aqueducts flow, and cities retain civic life. The collapse into rural isolation never occurs. A Roman merchant sails from Carthage to London, his cargo secured by imperial fleets patrolling the Mediterranean and Atlantic. A senator in Rome debates policy with colleagues, his toga a symbol of an unbroken state. The absence of collapse reshapes the Middle Ages. Feudalism, born of Rome's fall, never arises. Without fragmented kingdoms, Europe remains centralized under imperial authority. Knights and castles, those iconic medieval features, do not dominate. Instead, legions endure, adapted to new technology. By the year 800, Roman armies include heavy cavalry, but under state discipline, not feudal lords. Chivalry never exists because there are no independent knightly classes. Instead, citizenship and military service remain tied to Rome's bureaucratic machine. Christianity still spreads, but differently. In our world, the Church filled the vacuum left by Rome's fall, becoming the unifying authority of Europe. Here, Rome survives, so the Church never replaces the state. Bishops hold power, but under imperial oversight. Popes exist, but as figures within a Roman framework, not rulers in their own right. The Holy Roman Empire never emerges because the Roman Empire never disappears. Charlemagne is never crowned emperor because Rome is already alive and well. Daily faith feels different too. A peasant in Hispania worships in Christian churches, but they are imperial churches tied to Rome. There is no medieval struggle between kings and popes, no investiture controversy, no crusades launched by independent papal authority. Instead, crusades, if they happen, are imperial campaigns ordered by Rome as state policy. Christianity spreads as Roman religion, tightly fused with law and governance. Paganism lingers longer too. Preserved under Rome's tolerant approach, the economic effects are immense. The fall of Rome historically shattered trade networks, plunging Europe into local economies. In this world, Roman trade never collapses. Grain from Egypt, olive oil from Hispania, wine from Gaul, and silver from Britannia continue to flow. By 1000 CE, Rome commands not just Mediterranean trade, but Atlantic and Baltic routes as well. The Viking raids that terrified medieval Europe find no easy targets here. Imperial fleets crush them early. Instead of raiding, Norse sailors become imperial merchants, their longships adapted into Roman service. Technological growth accelerates. Without centuries of disruption, Rome builds continuously on its foundations. Watermills, glassmaking, and advanced engineering spread faster. By 800 CE, the empire experiments with windmills, gunpowder from trade with China, and mechanical clocks. The Renaissance, instead of reviving forgotten classical knowledge, emerges as a natural flowering of unbroken Roman science and philosophy. Leonardo da Vinci is not rediscovering Rome, but working within it. Global expansion also shifts. By 1000 CE, the empire is wealthy and outward-looking. Roman explorers sail farther, perhaps reaching West Africa, India, and even America centuries before Columbus. Imagine Roman colonies in the Caribbean, Roman amphitheaters in Mexico, legions drilling on Peruvian plains. A Roman merchant in 1100 might sip cacao or chew tobacco long before these products reached Europe in our timeline. The age of discovery becomes the age of Rome. But endurance brings new challenges. A 1,000-year empire must adapt to countless threats. Islam still rises in the 7th century, sweeping across the Middle East and North Africa. But instead of collapsing, Rome resists. Imperial armies fight Arab forces in Egypt, Spain, and Syria. Some territories may fall, but Rome holds on to others. North Africa may remain Roman, its ports securing Mediterranean dominance. The Crusades, instead of European ventures, are imperial wars to reclaim lost provinces, the Mongols to arrive. In the 13th century, as they thunder westward, they face not divided kingdoms but a centralized empire. Legions meet Mongol cavalry in Hungary and Anatolia, battles of giants. Rome, with its discipline and resources, may hold them off more effectively than fragmented medieval states. The Great Clash of Legions and Mongols becomes a defining moment in this alternate history. Culturally, Europe feels utterly different. The Gothic cathedrals of our timeline may never rise. Instead, Roman architecture evolves, blending classical columns with new styles. Basilicas and forums dominate cities, their mosaics depicting imperial triumphs. Latin never dies, remaining the language of state, science, and culture. Local dialects develop, but all educated people across Europe still speak Latin. Dante, Chaucer, and Shakespeare may write in Latin, their works understood across continents. For individuals, this continuity changes life profoundly. A farmer in Gaul, instead of a serf-bound to land, is a citizen with legal protections. A scholar in Alexandria studies Aristotle and Cicero in imperial libraries, uninterrupted by collapse. A soldier in Britannia defends Hadrian's Wall with weapons shaped by continuous innovation. A peasant in Germania watches Roman roads and aqueducts stretch across forests, never experiencing the chaos of post-Roman warlords. The Renaissance, when it comes, is not about rediscovery, but about transformation. Roman scholars by 1400 CE are already experimenting with steam engines, chemistry, and astronomy. Copernicus is a Roman mathematician in service to the empire. The scientific revolution occurs earlier, fueled by stability. The Industrial Revolution may dawn centuries ahead of our world, perhaps in the 1400s rather than the 1700s. By 1476, the Western Empire could be not a medieval state, but a proto-industrial superpower. The global consequences are staggering. Colonization begins centuries early. Rome claims Africa, India, and the Americas. The world speaks Latin, not Spanish or English. Christianity, fused with Roman governance, becomes global earlier. Islam still thrives, but it grows in a world where Rome never ceded power. The balance of civilizations shifts. Instead of Europe struggling through dark ages, Rome bestrides the world as a colossus. But is this world better? Perhaps no collapse, no centuries of ignorance, faster science, earlier prosperity. Humanity may reach modernity centuries ahead, but empires also stifle. Rome's hierarchy may suppress freedom and innovation. Slavery, deeply rooted in Rome, may last far longer. Individual cultures may vanish under Roman dominance. Diversity may suffer beneath imperial order. The cost of survival is the weight of unbroken empire. Still, the vision captivates. Imagine Rome in 1200 CE, its emperors ruling with legions and senators, its libraries alive, its fleets patrolling oceans. Imagine Latin spoken in New York, Paris, and Rio de Janeiro. Imagine the Colosseum still hosting games in the 1400s, but now with fireworks and cannon salutes. The Western Roman Empire, not a fallen memory, but a thousand-year reality. So, what do you think? Would a Rome that endured a millennium lift humanity to greatness, or hold it under imperial chains? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Sheriff Reactions for daily flips, because history isn't just what happened, it's what could have happened.